What's going on, YouTube? Just wanted to do a quick update to my very small Dart Frog setups that I have. I know some of you have been waiting for me to finish my build video, and I promise that is coming. I actually have 2 weeks until I start a new job, so I will be staining their stand and completing the video next week. Or completing the build. The video might come the week after next. But anyway, I want to start with my Dendrobates tinctorius Codiari River Trio. They're doing great. They're getting big. Probably starting to outgrow their current tank, so it's a good thing I'll be finishing their new setup. Try and keep the glare down to a minimum. But I have one that has fatter toe pads than the other two. So I'm hoping, sorry for the dirty glass, I'm hoping I have a good ratio of male to females or vice versa. They're still a little young to tell, but their tank's just kind of an overgrown mess, but they seem to do okay in there. And most of these plants will be transferred to their new tank when I complete it. On their current stand underneath, I have what I'll be using for a grow out container for the time being. And I do have 2 tadpoles from my imitator, so it's just got a little drainage layer, some soil, some Biodude soil, sphagnum moss, some leaf litter, and some wandering Jew in there, and it's heavily seeded with springtails already. So, and it's just got an LED desk lamp, and that wandering Jew seems to grow fine in there. Actually, probably had to trim it back twice now. The bottom layer of the stand is just cabinet storage. I keep feeders, fruit flies, springtails, isopods, my Dendrocare that I use to dust the fruit flies with, and just some random odds and ends that I may or may not need. The new stand that will be built when I finish these guys' new setup, again I apologize for the glare, will be large enough for me to house the grow out container, any tadpoles and everything underneath, and both tanks will be in one stand, so they'll be all compacted to a smaller space, and I will hopefully be able to set up a third thumbnail tank of some kind. I haven't decided yet. If anybody has suggestions, let me know. Hang tight, we're going to move on over to my little mini greenhouse container. Okay, so my greenhouse is doing pretty well. I call it a greenhouse. It's really just a storage tub with a light and some holes poked in it. I've got some Biodude drainage layer. That's one of his LED lights. And the only plant I've really lost was an elephant ear plant I stole from my backyard to see how it would do. I got a brown leaf on the pothos, or if I'm maybe saying that incorrectly. I just got a shipment in of some new bromeliads. 5 actually. I've moved one to the thumbnail tank. Looks like this one's getting a little crispy up top close to that light, so we're just going to move it back a little bit. Some more wandering Jew thrown down in there, but really it's just a few plants that I've had laying around that I haven't used. They're doing alright, not great. And I also have a jar that now has some Java moss since I'm starting to get some tadpoles. So this is really just a holding container until I finish that other build. And I really think the plants will be doing a lot better once they're in the vivarium. So I try and water them, daily. It holds moisture. I don't know if you can see it on the sides. But just kind of a temporary home for these guys. I don't know that I'll continue keeping a greenhouse type container once I finish the build. If I can fit a small one in the storage underneath, maybe I will, just to keep some bromeliads and things like that handy. But basically it's going as expected, and it'll do the job till I finish their tank in the next week or 2. So hold on tight for another 2 seconds, and we're going to head on over to the thumbnails and my tadpoles. Alright guys, these are kind of the stars of the show right now because I finally got tadpoles. I got this trio of standard imitators from a friend. I don't know if you can see the tadpole down in there or not. But I got this trio from a friend, and they were proven breeders for him. And you can see the tadpole right there. See if I can get him to move. Yeah. And once I picked them up, for the first few months, lots of calling, but no breeding. And I changed their feeding schedule from 5 to 6 days a week to every other Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and maybe once on the weekends. And I missed on off days. And I have tadpoles now. I have more eggs in the tank. I got one, I think that's the male. It's hard to tell. I'm still not very good at it. I'll open the tank here in a second. Lots of calling still. You know, these guys are just going great. So my tadpole setups, just a mason jar, a little java moss, and Indian almond leaf, a little piece of it to give them a little some tannins in the water. I'm still having some issues with fruit flies escaping from the Exoterra. So I've tried to doctor it up with some electrical tape. I've used electrical tape in some aquarium applications in the past. It's waterproof, works great, didn't harm the fish. I figured it's okay for darts. But if anybody has any other suggestions on how to fruit fly proof the Exoterras, I'm all ears. The good thing about keeping the tadpoles right here is the flies that have been escaping tend to make their way into the tadpole jars, and then the tadpoles are able to swim up and kind of feast on them. Just gonna pop it open real quick. Don't know if you can see that guy back there. Guy or gal, not quite sure. I don't know if we'll be able to get the eggs that are back here or not. Anyway, there's one egg on the bromeliad leaf, and then I have two down inside of it. So these guys are doing great. The red tomato imitators, from what I understand, they're a little bolder than some of the other thumbnails. I finally got some good video footage of these guys feeding. I don't know if you're able to check that video out or not. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now in the frog world until I can finish the stand and the tank for the new guys. Then I'll be consolidating everything to where I keep my tinks. Hope everybody enjoyed. I know I'm not the best video maker in the world, but I do appreciate all the views and the likes and the subscriptions. So I'll try and get some new video footage updated as quick as I can. So thanks everybody.